Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Cosmic Origins. My name is Jace. We have a lot of really fun things to talk about in this episode. There are some more decoded ripple connections with Apple, with a new movie called Spirited coming out, and more connections with SpaceForce and Starlink, and what's really going on with XRP and Ripple. So, to start off, there's this new movie called Spirited from Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. I haven't actually seen the movie yet, but this is kind of making its rounds on Twitter, which is one of those main songs in the movie is literally called Ripple, and the lyrics are kind of mind-blowing, honestly. And when you actually listen to the song, it's pretty crazy. Now, I can't actually play the song here for copyright reasons. It'll probably get flagged, but I want to go over the lyrics with you, and then you can go check out the song yourself. Just look it up on YouTube. This is the video right here. And yeah, so let's jump into the lyrics real quick, and then we're going to talk about the Mr. Poole connection and some of the SpaceForce connections with this. So to start off, it says, "Every day I wake up with a single dream running through my head, to throw a little stone into a mighty stream and watch the ripples as they spread. Well, we fall in line, follow every rule, but is that something we should really take pride in?" Makes you think, right? Kind of like the totalitarian state and everything that's happening right now. Like, everyone's following every rule, but people are waking up. They're breaking out of that. Because we're treading water in the kiddie pool when there are oceans we could turn the tide in. And honestly, just now, that makes me think of the new Avatar movie, Way of the Water. You know, this whole liquidity thing with Ripple and liquidity increasing. And, you know, I just did a video about currency and how water codes are connected with all this. So that new Avatar movie, Way of the Water, also more liquidity, more water, just kind of, you know, collective consciousness seeding. If you want to make a ripple, if you want to make a wave, playing safe and thinking small doesn't move the ball at all. Playing safe and thinking small, like, you know, not investing into the new financial system and things like that, playing it safe. Doesn't move the ball at all. There's humanity to save. Can we really make a ripple if you want to make a wave? Playing safe and thinking small. Or sorry, can we, I moved the screen, I messed up. Can we really make a ripple with our feet up while we float? Too afraid to rock the boat. If we never test the waters, we'll never know just how far the ripples go. Okay. Do you want to make a ripple, 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 blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, it gets more interesting here. Now, if we choose this dude, 1 goes 2 and 4 and jumps from 4 to 8, ripple, ripple, ripple. Yes, soon, you guys, it multiplies to thousands more. Can you hear it reverberate? Then to millions and to billions. It never ends. All across the world is change and gaining some traction. Like, this is almost too good to be true. It's like they're talking about, you know, the money, and is that alluding to the price, you know, to the thousands, to the millions, to the billions? We literally just did see another XRP glitch on CoinMarketCap, which had XRP's value at like 3 billion or something ridiculously crazy. So we saw the glitches in the beginning years ago start with the thousands. I personally saw one at 6,000. Then they started going into the hundreds of thousands and the millions. Now we're literally seeing glitches in the billions. And, you know, who is it? Dr. Shiva, that was really involved with the whole thing that went down in 2020, if you know who I'm talking about. He famously said there's no such thing as a glitch. Right? It's always some kind of human inputted reason. Like, there's no true glitches. It's either human error or something is going on. And so these glitches that we're seeing that move it into the thousands, the millions, the billions, a lot of people are speculating these are the side chain ledgers that the central banks are practicing on using a side chain of XRP. And eventually the main chain and the side chain are going to have to converge in order for this to be used properly. So that's really interesting. Now it gets even crazier here. All across the world, the change is getting some traction, reaching to other planets, maybe aliens. Now, I've been saying on this channel for a long time that I feel like this is a technology that's been seeded here from other planets. That's basically going to be allowing us to not only create interplanetary trade with our own species across planets, but interplanetary trade potentially with other alien, you could say, civilizations. And this is something that's been confirmed by people in the SSP whistleblower group. If you are familiar with that, if you follow groups like Journey to Truth, you might know people like Tony Rodriguez, who has talked about through his experiences in the SSP that they used digital asset cryptocurrency, decentralized cryptocurrencies to do their interplanetary trade. They're not using gold and silver, they're using decentralized digital assets because it's the best way to actually create scarcity when you have the technology to create infinite amount of resources, right? So you have to have something that creates a scarcity of value or a finite amount of value. Otherwise, you basically have inflation. And this is something I want to get into in another video eventually, why gold is not a long-lasting practical means for Earth or for interplanetary trade, because for one, you can always go find more gold. If you go get gold on an asteroid and bring it back, say you have twice as much gold, well, you have inflation, right? We also know there's the technology that the ancients were using to alchemize gold out of mercury and other kinds of metals. So digital assets, decentralized digital assets, create a finite amount of units that we can use for energy exchange. And I really do believe that this is the kind of system that is used in interplanetary groups. So that's pretty interesting that that's getting brought up here. Maybe aliens. From one man, we began a chain reaction. If you want to make a ripple, ripple. If you want to make a ripple that can turn into a wave to mean what we're about, gotta turn this mother out. Friends, it's just called being brave. Maybe more than just a ripple. Make the choice to take a chance. Let's put on your big boy pants. If we only skip the surface, we'll never know just how far the ripple goes. So there's more, but I'm not gonna read the rest of it because that's pretty much the gist of it. But that's pretty crazy, right? Like, it's almost spot on, like exactly spot on. Like this was written about XRP. Okay, so just to give another interesting synchronicity with that, check this out. This is an actual tweet from Mr. Poole that came out last year before this movie came out. Okay, so this is obviously a person in green and a person in red, very holiday-like, cheersing, and then you have almost the exact same thing going on with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. And I've had the feeling that Ryan Reynolds is involved with some of these more, positive awakening, you could say, alliance type groups. Will Ferrell, who knows, maybe, I don't know. Maybe, you never know these days, where people are actually aligned, but sometimes people are just kind of pawns in the game as well. So pretty fascinating there. That's an interesting connection. And then to take it a step further, this movie Spirited is produced by Apple, okay? It's on Apple TV. Now, there's this old article from 2018 about Apple and integrating Ripple XRP's interledger technology, okay? And this is something that has not really been explored too much in recent times. Like, this article came out in 2018 and there hasn't been much talk about this since. So this is pretty interesting, but it talks about how Apple is integrating Ripple's interledger protocol, which basically creates interoperability between different blockchains for Apple Pay, and how Ripple could be the new, Ripple and XRP could be the biggest, most widely used cryptocurrencies because of this, which we obviously know. So just another connection with Apple. And, Apple has been more in the news lately, particularly with Twitter and Elon Musk, because they're being, we should say they removed all of their ads and deleted all their tweets on Twitter. So there's kind of this revealing of censorship that Apple has been exposed for lately. And, how does that work hand in hand with this? Well, I feel like energetically, we are seeing what we see come out in the public eye is already multiple steps behind what's actually already happened. So what do I mean by that? Well, if Apple really is going to be this new, I kind of liken them to being almost like a SpaceForce aligned, technology group. And I got this vibe a couple years ago when I got an iPhone for the first time. I was always an Android person, and something was like, okay, Apple is going to be actually the more aligned group with, being aligned with humanity and actually helping humanity. But like I said, what you actually see come out is multiple steps behind what's happening behind the scenes. We know that. So publicly, we have to see Apple getting exposed for everything they have been guilty for so long, all the corruption that they have been involved in with, Foxconn in China, the slave labor there. All of that has to come to the surface before it can be rebirthed and the phoenix can rise from the ashes, if it is going to be a company that is aligned with humanity's, purity. So I think that's what we're seeing now with, Elon exposing Apple and everything going on. I think that has to come to the surface. Then we can see the stuff that has been going on the past couple years behind the scenes then come to the surface if they are going to be aligned with, better intentions. And so to take that a step deeper, the new Apple iPhone 14 Pro, I talked about this in one of my previous decoding videos. There's some really interesting decodes in here. And obviously you can see this screen right here. We have what pretty much looks like the XRP logo, right? So it's like almost exactly the XRP logo. And in this scene, we could play it real quick. They're literally talking about crash protection. So let's play that real quick.
Crash detection. Using a high G-force accelerometer, gyroscope, sensors, and machine learning algorithms, iPhone 14 Pro can detect when there has been a severe car crash and automatically call emergency services.
Okay, so we have a crash happen, and what happens the whole time? The XRP logo stays intact, right? It stays there. It's like, it is the crash detection, right? It's your protection against crashes. So that's some interesting symbolism right there. If you want to go deeper into that, check out my decoding video from maybe about a month ago. And then let's take that a step deeper. Well, real quick again, in this video, there's another really interesting tidbit. Let me find it. Here we go. This little floating ball of strange technology literally has a Q on it. See if you can see it, and they stop it when it happens. Right there. They focus on it. It has a Q, okay? So again, another connection between this quantum technology, between 17, between SpaceForce, Starlink, XRP, Apple being a part, basically, in my opinion, being adopted as kind of the official technology of these groups in a way. Very interesting stuff. Okay, let's also watch this SpaceForce Origins video, one of their first videos, where they mention banking, okay?
When foreign powers can build bases on the dark side of the moon, when private companies are inventing a new economy beyond our planet, we need to stay one step ahead of the future.
When private companies are inventing a new economy beyond our planet, is that not exactly what we've been describing with Ripple and what they're doing? Okay, and then here's another one where they directly reference banking.
From banking to communication and navigation, space is closer than you think. And because space defines every battle, we must protect the high ground.
From banking to communication and navigation. Okay, so multiple times SpaceForce has referenced the idea of banking, of using commerce in space. So this, again, it goes right hand in hand with what we're talking about with XRP being used for trade, maybe domestically, maybe also with other alien civilizations, like the lyrics in this song suggest when it says, maybe aliens reaching other planets, maybe aliens, okay? Are you seeing the dots connect? So that's basically what I wanted to share with you today. Pretty freaking crazy. If you still haven't gotten into cryptocurrency yet, and XRP in particular, and you need some help, this is what I do. I coach people in this. So you can check out my free training. I'll put the link down in the bio. It talks about XRP, the new financial system, how to maintain sovereignty using private wallets, and how you can use decentralized finance to generate passive income. And then I also have an availability to work with me directly. If you want to join my coaching program, you can apply to do that. I'll put that link down in the description below. So thanks for hanging out, guys. This is a fun video. Throw your comments down below with what you think about all this. I'm very excited for the future, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.